Hello and welcome back to my channel where I like to have fun with all things beauty while being critical about what I accept into my collection. Today we are doing the lip product declutter video part 1. This is going to be lip gloss and lip treatment products. So as always with these videos, I'm starting with my favorites up first. So that's what you see on the screen right now. This is not my first time filming this. So like a lot of people, I have an obscenely large lip product collection, and I tried to do both my lip gloss and lipsticks together in one video, but it turned into like a 2-hour ordeal, and I just got overwhelmed, and I just realized I wasn't able to put that in any sort of order that made any type of sense. So I'm just gonna split it up. I know some people really like 2-hour declutters, putting it on in the background while you're doing something, or even some people fall asleep to that, which, you know, I tend to talk a lot, so all of my videos are long, but I just felt like 2 hours was beyond my limit of what I could handle. Uploading even with the equipment that I have. I'm not sure that would have even worked. So I'm just gonna do my best and split this up into 2 sections. And I'm gonna start with my lip gloss and lip treatment products. You know, some of these are gonna be crossovers, like the YSL and the Clinique. You could argue that these are more lip color products than lip treatments, but this is where they are for me, so I'm not going to make it more complicated than that. I should also say that I am sure that I'm leaving things out. You know, when I walked around my house collecting all of these, I know for a fact that I have old purses or even suitcases that definitely have lip products in them. But I just had to cut it off at some point, you know. These are the ones that matter the most to me, so everything else is kind of redundant, you know. I am going to declutter a bunch of things today, but it's not necessarily because they're unusable. You know, I think almost the reason I hold on to these, and I think a lot of people, is because there's nothing inherently wrong with them. They're just not special. So I know I'm not the only one who tends to collect things like this, and it just gets to a point where, you know, things are just aged out. So most of what I'm letting go of today is just because of age, and, you know, the cream of the crop stuff is a pretty short list. And, you know, in case you're wondering, I'll spoil it now, my favorite lipstick is MAC. So the only thing missing from my top shelf lip products across the board are my 2 MAC lipsticks. So it is mostly lip products like this that I enjoy. So that's kind of also why I decided to start with this. So without further ado, I will jump into my favorite gloss, hands down, the Patrick Ta. It's because it's so beautiful. You know, the other thing that is going to make my lip product video a little bit different is the B-roll. You know, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that I include B-roll of my favorite products, but I'm only gonna do swatches of lipsticks. If you know anything about lip gloss, you don't want to be swatching lip gloss anyway, but, you know, a sheer lip gloss is a sheer lip gloss. Like, the only things that are relevant is if it causes the white ring of death or strings or, you know, that kind of thing. Otherwise, they all basically look the same. So, you know, I'm really only going to be showing B-roll about the products that really stand out. So for me, that's the Patrick Ta. This is in She's Expensive. I think they have this in 1 or 2 other colors. This is the one that stood out to me, and I just love it. You know, I do want to get a backup of this, even though when I'm finished, I am going to try to count because I'm just curious. I know it's well over 100 lip products and maybe even just in the lip gloss category. So I have no business buying another one of these, but it just makes me happy to look at it. And the package is beautiful. It doesn't do any plumping. There's nothing, you know, all it does is add a sheer gloss and sparkle, which is fabulous. And I leave this out on my vanity so I can look at it because I like it that much. Okay, enough about that. My number 2 is probably the Finding Ferdinand because the packaging is so beautiful and it's easygoing. You know, it's a little bit stickier than the Patrick Top, but it's not sticky. It's comfortable. Not the most long wearing, but that also the trade-off is that it is more comfortable. I just really think this is beautiful packaging and it's a great gloss. So I highly recommend. You can make your own. Later in the video, I will show you one that I made using a photograph. Spoiler, it did not turn out well, but it taught me some things. If you decide to make your own on the Finding Ferdinand website, I've definitely trialed that enough to know some things to avoid. But this is a pre-made one. This one is in limoncello. It's just great, you know. It's sort of like pick your preference. I know Cafe Olay is a popular one that has more of a brown tint to it. This has more of a clear base, so I tend to go for things with a clear base because I kind of prefer to choose my lip color and then just add a gloss on top. So just personal preference. Another formula that I really like is this from Lunar Beauty. It's so funny because I love most of Lunar Beauty's packaging. I don't love the packaging of these glosses. It just, I don't know. It's like, it's getting dingy almost. I don't know how to explain it. Just not my favorite. But I love the formula. And, you know, people go on at length about their lip oils. I actually finished 2 lip oils from Lunar Beauty. I went through them really fast. I'm not sure if that has to do with fill size or what, but this is in Coven. This is a lip gloss. I think their lip gloss formula is just as nice as the oils. I tend to be a little bit skeptical of lip oils in general. I think a lot of them feel like glosses to me, but regardless, it's not sticky, it's comfortable, it tastes like vanilla. It's just a crowd pleaser, you know. I really like this formula. So this one I don't put in my purse because frankly, I don't wanna go through it too fast and I don't want it to get all scuffed up in my purse. But these 2 I keep in my purse. Another purse item is this Bobbi Brown. This is for color. So I didn't even pick this. This I got in shade Slow Jam. It's the Crush Oil Infused Gloss. This is my ideal for when I'm going out to dinner. Prior to this, I was using the Clinique in Black Honey. I was using this for the same reason. When I'm at a dinner, I don't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom to put lip product on. I mean, I will, I guess, but a lot of times when I'm finished eating, my lips are dry, you know, and I'm usually wearing makeup. So I don't really just want to put a gloss on. I want something with a little bit of color to it, but I don't want anything that's going to seep outside of lip lines or be complicated in any way. I just want to add some color and hydration and not think too hard about it. So for me, the Bobbi Brown does that perfectly. Like this color, for whatever reason, it's just an easy color for me. You know, obviously I think that's different for everyone, but I love the formula. And, you know, prior to that, I would reach for the Clinique Black Honey. It's a similar color, but it doesn't have quite as much shine as the Bobbi Brown, so I just prefer it. You know, actually both of these products were freebies with other things, you know, gift with purchase, whatever, but they just worked out, you know. These are always in my purse, one or the other at least, because I always like having that option. Another similar product is this YSL Candy Glaze. So what I will say about the Candy Glaze is not everybody loves this formula. It is incredibly goopy. I'll actually show you. And I bought two during a sale. I got it in shade 15 and shade clear. If I lost both of these, I would only replace the clear because, you know, this looks like a really pretty neutral color. But the reality is that's not the best color on me. So I will use this and I will use this up, but I won't buy it again. I will buy the clear again because obviously, you know, it really doesn't change the color of what you have on underneath it very much. And I love this in the winter time as a topper because it adds like so much hydration, but you know, because it's so thick and goopy, it doesn't go anywhere. It really stays on your lips, and that's what I love about it. If I have my hair down, I will not go near this with a 10-foot pole because it is what it looks like. It's thick, it's goopy. I would say it's not quite as goopy as the Tarte Maracuja lip oils, but you know, they're still pretty goopy. So I know some people hate it because of that, but I find it, especially in the wintertime when I'm traveling, it's my favorite. So I will definitely repurchase the clear. My favorite lip treatment is the Lawless Forget the Filler. Actually, I'll be honest, I don't really use this at night. At night, I use the CosRx, the lip sleeping mask. Because the Lawless for me is thinner. So this is a little bit more tenacious. This will stay, for me, I don't know that it stays all night, but almost all night. Whereas the Lawless, it's so much thinner that it is a lot more comfortable, but I use it as my getting ready lip mask. So as soon as I get out of the shower and I do my skincare, I put this on and then I start my makeup. So by the time I'm done with my makeup, this is either soaked in or I wipe it off and then I put lipstick on and my lip lines are puffed out. The Lawless, all of them, pretty much I've tried the glosses, I've tried the stick, and I've tried the mask. My favorite is, well, I like the formula of the stick and the mask the best because it's thinner. The gloss is a little bit sticky. So the gloss is not my favorite, but the lip mask, and the reason I don't love the stick as much as this is because that has a color to it. And I don't know if it has the pH adjusting component, but it turns kind of a fuchsia on me. And the color I chose was not great. This is clear. So the mask is clear. That's why it's my favorite. And the plumping is, for me, it's more of a hydration thing. So it doesn't sting, it doesn't burn, it doesn't bring color to the lips, but it does hydrate them. And that's just the hydration alone puffs the lip lines out better than anything else that I have in my collection, in my opinion. You know, I haven't really done side-by-side tests. It's just like anecdotally how I feel when I'm using it. It's my favorite. You know, I'm not really thinking about it beyond that. The Lawless is just my favorite formula. It's the most comfortable. And I don't have any of the issues that I have with other lip plumpers. And I think it's the most effective for plumping out lip lines. So this is during the day. This is my at night. This is replaceable. You know, I got this because it was on sale. I also have the Farmacy Lip Smoothie. I like both of these pretty much equally. The Laneige is probably the most famous version of this. I don't love the Laneige formula. You know, I know a lot of people swear by it. You know, I like the fact that it also comes in a tube because I like tube products better than pop products just across the board. But I will say, for me, the Laneige is just very average. Like, it's okay at hydrating and it's okay at occlusion, but it doesn't really excel at either. So I prefer the CosRx for hydration, and I think the Farmacy does a good job with occlusion. I want both, you know. I don't just want occlusion because that's not hydrating. You know, I don't want to put a lip balm on, wipe it off, and my lips are just as dry as they were before because it doesn't add any hydration. You know, I really want both. So for me, that's why I just like both of these better. You know, I think the Farmacy does a better job at hydrating than the Laneige. Not by miles. You know, I wouldn't go out of my way. None of these I would pay for full price. You know, the one I would go out of my way for is the Lawless. This is more of an item. I look for what's on sale, and I kind of, you know, I do it that way instead, because I think these products are all good, but they're not so stand out that I need to get these specifically. Everything else that I'm going to talk about is basically replaceable. So they're all things that I don't want to get rid of because they don't, you know, they don't rise to the point that they're unusable, but they're just, in my humble opinion, replaceable. I'm gonna start with lip treatments, and then I'm gonna move on to lip gloss. So here we have the Lawless glosses that I was talking about. I would, if I could pick one, I would get the clear, or, you know, the close to clear. Like this is Rosy Outlook, but it doesn't change the color. This has more of a color. It just says Velvet. So, you know, it's okay. It's pretty inoffensive, but I prefer the clear. This is the stick that I was talking about. That's just, it's not the best color. So, this is Posy. If I were to get that again, I would get it in clear. Then talk about my first lip plumper, which was this City Lips gloss. Sticky as all heck. You know, when I first got into makeup, I bought a bunch of products from City Lips. I got the matte lipsticks and the gloss. I dislike all of it. I feel like and I'll talk about the matte lipsticks when I come to that, but they're dry and cracky. So they did not, you know, in all the photos, their whole gimmick is that they plump the lip lines. They did not do that for me. They dried my lips out. The gloss was okay. You know, I clearly used it because I paid for it. You know, so this is something I would use when I was starting to put my makeup on. And then I got better things. So I didn't need to keep forcing myself to use it. I don't like it as a lip gloss. So I'll never use it as a lip gloss. I used it when I could wipe it off, you know, and I would never buy it again. So I don't really get the hype with any of the City Lip products. Another lip plumper that didn't really work for me was the Dr. Dennis Gross. Now, I will say, it is effective. You know, I will use it and I will use it up because I paid for it and it technically works. But beyond plumping, which, you know, I would argue it's noticeable, but it's not, for me, I don't think anybody else would notice, only me. So, you know, I should start by saying that. Beyond that, it brings so much color to the lips. I don't want that. I don't like the flushed look. I use lipstick, you know? That's it. I don't want my lips to be bright red and affect the color of my lipstick. It's just not a look I'm going for. And the other problem with this is it never stays within my lip lines. If I put this all over my lips, it travels outside my lip lines and it looks awful. It's not like overlining your lips where you can sort of give the illusion of fuller lips. It doesn't look like that. It looks like you have a rash. Like, that's it. It doesn't do it in a nice, even, like, lip liner way at all. It does it in a very, I bit my lip or I ate something that I'm allergic to kind of way, which is not great. So because of all those caveats, it's just annoying. I've gotten to use it by putting it in the center of my lip only, and then I'll use my finger to very carefully spread it. I'll wait like a minute and then I'll wipe it off because that's the only way I've been able to use it without having issues with making me look like I'm having an allergic reaction. And it's effective. That's long enough for it to give slight plumping effects without all those negatives. So I will say, like, if you are sick of buying lip plumpers that have no effect, this will certainly have an effect on you. It's just whether or not that's what you want. You know, for me personally, I have very thin lips. I have no lip filler. You know, I want help in that department, but it's just not in the way this delivers it, I guess. Real quick, the Ole Henriksen, I really like this formula. I hate this flavor. So I got cocoa cream. It tastes like blood. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but I get like a real irony flavor from it. It tastes nothing like chocolate. I actually picked this one because of the chocolate flavor, and oh man, do I regret that. I like the formula of this, so I keep it on my desk and I force myself to use it because I like the formula, but the flavor is just gross. It's just really awful in my opinion. So I would keep that in mind if you're looking to get that. I got this for like $2. I don't even remember, but this is the Squeeze Me Lip Balm from e.l.f. It's vanilla frosting flavored, and it's delicious. I don't find it particularly hydrating or special in any way. I would never buy it again, but if you really want something that's affordable and has a really good flavor to it, this is delicious. Then I'll talk about Clarins lip oil. I enjoy using this. That being said, I don't find it hydrating. Like, people go on and wax poetic about how great this lip oil is, and it's so hydrating and it plumps the lip lines, and I don't notice any of that. What I notice from this is that it's a really pleasant feeling. So I use it because the sensation is enjoyable. However, I will not put this in my purse because of the color. It's not clear. When I bought this, I thought it would be sheer enough that I could put it on top of anything and it would just sort of add a glow. It adds a bright red color. Sometimes I'll reach for this at night when I have like all my nighttime skincare on, and I'll get up to use the bathroom and I'll startle myself in the mirror because it looks like I'm bleeding. I remember before I realized the color of this, that would happen. Now I sort of know better, but you know, it's a very unflattering color, and I was not expecting that. I would get this again if it was free or on a very deep discount in a sheer color, because it is that enjoyable to use, but I wouldn't pay full price for this because I don't think it's effective. You know, beyond being an enjoyable experience, I don't think it does anything great for my lips. So for me, it's not worth the price because of that. Then I have this Fluorasis lip mask. This tastes kind of icky. It has sort of like a minty flavor, but it's almost like a minty plastic. It's not like an edible mint. So because of that, I wouldn't buy this again. I think it's pretty hydrating, but I don't think this is any better than Vaseline. You know, sometimes I do just use plain Vaseline on my lips at night because it's quite occlusive and it will last all night. This is like a little bit lighter than that. It's not as sticky as that, but beyond the packaging being adorable, I would not buy that again. The Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip, I dislike this. This does the stringy thing and it's gross, so I'm actually gonna throw that away. Then I have lip SPF. I have more lip balms in the car that I'm sure have expired, so I'm not gonna bother to get those. But you know, all the main brands, like the big brands, I don't like any of them. They're all chalky. These are better. These are more cosmetically elegant, But the Supergoop is a color problem. So I got Lucky Me, and that's just not a color that works for me, but it is a nice, you know, it's hydrating. It doesn't dry my lips out. The MD Solar Sciences, I got this in just pink. This is a better color because it's a lot more sheer. It's still not a great lip shade on me, but it's so much lighter that I would get this again. If I were to buy both of these again, honestly, I would get clear. My favorite is the K Skin because it looks the most like any other regular lip gloss. I mean, it tastes a little bit like there's an SPF in there, but this is Eerie Rose. It's my favorite in color and texture. And when I'm wearing this, like nobody would look at me and think that I had anything other than regular lip gloss on. So I like these products for that. I will say the complaints about the K Skin packaging are totally accurate. I just threw one of these away that I bought, well, I mean, it was older and I had used a lot of it before I had problems. But way before it was at the end of its lifespan, the product stopped coming out. It just, for whatever reason, this mechanism just stopped letting product out. And when I would squeeze it with all my might, it would come out the side. So I don't know what that's about. I really have no idea. But I know that I've heard a lot of people complain about it. So I would say not a great investment for that reason. I really hope they address that and they change the packaging, because as far as a lip gloss goes, I think it's a nice formula. So now I'm going to talk about my favorite glosses, you know, other than my absolute top shelf. So number 2, I guess, is Pat McGrath. My favorite is this in Earth Angel, just because it's sheer, so I can wear it with everything. And I really like the formula of her lip glosses. I don't use these as much because of the amount of color payoff. They just aren't the best colors on me. But I do like the formula. So, you know, and I picked all of these up. Pat McGrath has like a lip sale. I feel like it's right after Black Friday or a couple weeks. I'm not exactly sure, but it's like the lip product event where all of the, like, well, no, not everything, select lip products are something like 50% off or buy one, get one, that type of deal. So that's when I picked all of these full sizes up. So I tried Peach Persuasion and Wicked Whisper. They're fine, but they're not the greatest colors on me, so unfortunately. And then these I got as freebies. This is Divine Rose and Nude Venus, and the same thing. I really love the formula, not the best color on me. So if I were to buy these again, I would go for one of the shimmer ones that have a clear base. Then I have this Westman Atelier. I have this in Nana. I adore this. I use this sparingly. It's probably one of the few lip products that I use sparingly because of how expensive it is. I don't want to ever purchase it again, but it came with this cute little drug pouch and, you know, it's luxury. It's Westman Atelier. The package is super weighted, but my favorite thing about it is formula. It's light, it's easy, you know, it kind of goes with everything, and it's just, I don't even know how to put my finger on it. It's one of those things where it is the luxury of it all. So it's not necessary. I wouldn't buy it again, but I do really like having it. Then I have these. So the Lifter Glosses by Maybelline. I don't use these enough. They're good, you know. They're just a good solid lip gloss formula. The Fenty, I feel similarly about. I just have this in the original Fenty Glow. It's not the best color on me, but I like the formula. These are all my other Finding Ferdinand glosses. Again, I think it's a great gloss formula. The brown doesn't really work on me. Red doesn't really look great on me, but you know, this one is the Cafe au Lait. This imparts a little bit more color than the Limoncello, but you know, it has a shimmer in it. I like it a lot. You know, this is one that I keep out on my desk. And then this is the one I made. So I took this from a photo. What I didn't realize is the photo that I was using was paint. So I was using the color of a house, and what I didn't take into consideration is the amount of white in the color. So when I had this made, it's just a little bit chalky. And because of that, it does not like full white ring of death, but it alters the color of my lipstick in not a flattering way. It was just a learning experience. I learned the same thing when I made my own blushes. Too much white pigment, even if a color looks pretty on a house, it's not necessarily going to translate that well on the skin. So just something to keep in mind. You know, I got this in the vanilla flavor. I love the vanilla. I think if I were to do it again, I would just make sure that I was picking a shade that was skin flattering. So either a pre-made one or just going with more of a hands-on color choosing experience. So I forgot to talk about this Strivectin lip plumper. This should have been in the other section, but it rolled away. This comes with a vertical lip line treatment and a plumping treatment. This just was not effective for me. You know, I've heard some people really like it. It's unique in that it comes with, you know, that's the regular doe foot and the brush applicator. I think it's a gimmick. I don't think it doesn't stand out. I wouldn't buy that again. Then I can talk about my extensive Buxom collection. You know, these came in a set. I did not buy these all individually, but they're just okay. They're a little bit sticky, and I just don't love that. I think they're effective. They do plump without being painful. I guess this should go with my lipstick. This is more of a lipstick, but regardless, I won't buy them again because I've just moved on to better lip plumpers. You know, this is not at the level where I'm going to throw them away, but I am going to take them out of circulation because I just prefer the glosses in the last section better. Here is more of a color thing, so I guess I should take these out because these will stay in my collection. Everything at this point is going in my shoebox. So it's not going in the garbage, but it's getting taken out of circulation. So the exception being the Nars lip gloss, because I forgot that I even had this. This is a really pretty gloss. It's in Orgasm, it's very thin, but I think it is a unique and pretty color. So I'm gonna put that back into rotation. Unfortunately, this lip balm, the color just didn't work that well for me. This reminds me a little bit of the one that has the pH adjustment from Lawless, but this is Dolce Vita. You know, it doesn't stand out. So it's getting taken out. Then these Kaja lip glosses. I actually love the formula. I have this in Milk Tea and Pink Drink, but I don't like the colors. Milk Tea does the same thing that the Finding Ferdinand does. It just makes my lips look milky, and I don't like that look. So that's leaving. The Pink Drink just is not a flattering shade on me, so it's not deeper than that. Like, I do really like the formula, but I'm not going to use them if I don't like the color. The RMS, this, I do like the color, actually. So, I've just reconsidered. I'm going to keep that. That is a little bit similar to the Bobbi Brown, so that's going back in. These Ilias are leaving simply because they leak. That's it. I love the formula. I don't like all of these colors, but they are super nourishing. So I did used to keep them with me for the nourishing value, but I can't put them in my purse They leak all over my purse, and you know, they leak in the drawer too. So they gotta leave because they're messing things up. But maybe the full size wouldn't do that. In that case, if you find one of these in a color you like, I highly recommend. I really like the formula. Here we have sort of the miscellaneous bunch. These are things that I'm keeping because they're good. They're just not something that I'm gonna reach for on a regular basis. So that's a blush, that's in the wrong place. But these from Unearthly, this is a lip gloss and a lip oil. They're nice. They're just, this has a purple hue, this has a very sparkly pink hue. They're just not things that I'm gonna be reaching for on a daily basis, but I do like them. This is going to be put back into circulation. This is just a nice, clear, sparkly, you know, it does everything I ask from a lip product. So putting that back in. This Marc Jacobs, that's an age thing. I do think it's a pretty color, but I think I've had that for a very long time. This Haus Labs, I picked this up when all of the products were deeply discounted on Amazon. I don't like this lip oil. I have heard that it is very similar to the new PhD lip oil, which is why I've never bought one. I don't like it. I think it's a lip gloss and it's not a great one, and I don't like the color. So I was curious because I heard how much people raved about the lip oil. I really wanted to try it. I tried it and I hate it. So that's why that's leaving. Then Beekman 1802, this is fine, you know, it's just not special. So it's leaving rotation. Then I have this from Pat McGrath. This is so sticky, but it's so freaking pretty that I'm holding on to it just because if I ever want to take an editorial picture with the most sparkle possible, that's what I'm going to use. You know, I'm keeping it for that reason. Same reason I'm keeping all of these from Trixie Cosmetics. So these are just basic glosses. However, some of them really stand out, like this one. You know, this is green with an iridescent purple shift. That is gorgeous. I don't have anything in my collection even remotely like that. And it's actually wearable because when you put it on your lips, it has more of a purple hue. It doesn't really look green at all. So it's gorgeous. I am holding on to every single one of these for the fact that if I'm trying on like a multi-chrome or a holographic shade of eye makeup and I want to have a lip that goes with that, these are perfect for that. Orange, yellow, like hot pink, those are not colors that I'm reaching for in my day-to-day life. So that's why they are going away, but they're not leaving my collection. So I forgot 2 items. I forgot my Wayne Goss. I got this in a Beautylish box. This is fine. You know, it's a little bit sticky, so that's why I just reach for other things. And, you know, because of that, it's going in my overflow. And this from RMS, I am gonna hold on to this because I think the highlight is pretty, but the lip colors, I know that I'm never gonna use those. Hopping in to add these 2 because, I did kind of want to talk about this from La Mer. This is the old formula. I think the new formula might be better. This was just very thin and not very effective. I didn't find it very hydrating or plumping, but from what I've heard, the new formula is better. Regardless, I do leave it out on my bathroom sink because it's pretty. It's like an iridescent pink. It's nice to look at. And then I'm throwing this in there because if I'm really honest, I had 173 lip products, and throwing this in there makes it a clean 175. So I have like at least 5 of these in my car, all different brands, just the sunscreen chapstick. I don't really like any of them. I like the other ones that I mentioned a lot better. But at the end of the day, they're effective, you know, so I do keep them around. But, you know, this one actually has a nice flavor. This is the best tasting, but, you know, it's chapstick, so it's as hydrating as a chapstick, which, you know, we have more tenacious formulas these days, but gets the job done at the end of the day. And finally, we have the garbage pile. So this is everything that's being decluttered. Again, it's mostly for age. There are some products that it has more to do with formula though, like this Lunar Beauty lip oil. I got this for free in a advent calendar. The poofy thing disintegrated. And I'm just kind of weirded out by that. I actually think this is a fun color. That looks like a color that I would like. But when I opened this for the first time and the puff disintegrated and most of it is still in here, I'm just like, I'm good. I don't need to use that. I'm just gonna throw that out. This Burt's Bees, this is actually a beautiful color, but I've had this for maybe 10 years, maybe 5 years. Who knows? I certainly don't. So rather than take any chances, I'm just gonna throw that out. I have these two chubby sticks from Clinique. These are not colors that work on me at all. And I've had these for years, so time to let them go. These Juicy tubes, like I assume they still make these. I don't know. These came with something else. I did not purchase these, but they've been in my collection for far too long. Like it could be 5 years, it could be 20. I don't even know. So time to let those go. I have these two from Ulta Beauty. They're just, you know, lip products that I'm sure these were a gift with purchase. They've just been there for far longer than they should be. The same is true with everything else, except this. Okay, so I actually think I got this recently. This is, they mostly make nail polish, but this, I don't know, it's the function, not enough product comes out, and yeah, it leaves a nice glassy finish, but it's not hydrating at all, and it's not enjoyable to use at all. It tastes a lot like artificial peaches, but it's not an enjoyable thing. So I would steer clear of these. Like if they come free with a nail polish, which this did, fine, but I really don't like the formula. This e.l.f. plumping lip gloss, no idea. It's just very old. It's CC plus, very old. Same with these two from Bare Minerals. This is so old, it's separating. That's gross. Then this Too Faced, this is actually a fun color, but you know, I remember now. It's too opaque, you know, that it's too much pink and not enough iridescence. Then we have this that came free with something. That's a formula thing and a color thing, sticky and hot pink. So I'm good, I can get rid of that. And then finally, this from Ofra. I always said I was holding on to this for a Halloween costume. So if I ever do a Y2K Halloween costume, I will hold on to that for that purpose. But I would never choose to put this on my lips. And I would never buy anything from Ofra, period, end of story. But I got it, this was another thing that I got free with an advent calendar. So that's why it's even here. All right, so as you can see, these are just my lip treatments and glosses. So that is why I had to split this video into 2 parts. And, you know, I don't know if this is useful or if it's just something to put on in the background, but regardless, if you've stuck it out and watched to this point, you're amazing, and I hope you have a fabulous week. See you in the next one.